Hi there, welcome to this video and welcome to my YouTube channel. I am Tina from TinaHeals.com, and this video is about Venus in Taurus and what to do in the bedroom, how you can spice up your love life. So let's get straight to understanding what the archetype of Venus in Taurus represents. So this is sort of like Amalthea's horn of Cornucopia. It's not a bunch of big words. It's an archetype, and it means it's the eternal sign of abundance. Okay, it is the horn of plenty in colloquial language. So you may have seen this laid out during Thanksgiving. Okay, the horn of plenty. Decorations on your dining table. Okay, now Amalthea was the nurse of Zeus. And who is Zeus? Jupiter. Okay, and when Kronos was devouring all his children, Rhea, who was Kronos is Saturn, and Capricorn is ruled by Saturn, where Zeus or Jupiter is now, and then Rhea, who was Zeus's mother, basically hid him in an island in Crete and sort of gave Kronos a stone to swallow instead. Okay, and in this beautiful idyllic pastoral landscape grew Zeus with the nanny goat Amalthea. Okay, and one day while playing with her, he sort of broke her horn, and then in deep gratitude and repentance he blessed it. So the horn would never be empty, it would always be full. And if you hold the horn of Amalthea's horn of plenty, or horn of Cornucopia, you will see that whatever you desire will come in front of you. Okay, so off the top of the bat, this is the archetype of Venus in domicile, of Venus in Taurus. This is a beautiful natal placement to have, and if you are a Venus in Taurus, this video would be very helpful for you to understand how the energy works, and very helpful for you to truly, if you are in love with someone like this or looking to be with someone like this with Venus and Taurus, then you'll understand the nuances of pleasing them. Okay, because believe me, Venus and Taurus, it's all about sensuality, it's all about pleasure. Venus and Taurus is of course all like Aphrodite herself. And imagine Aphrodite languishing around, her abundant tresses open, and she's just probably naked like that Botticelli painting Birth of Venus, and she's just, just beautiful. This placement, Venus and Taurus, if it manifests physically, it's beautiful physically. If it's an energy you're feeling, it's just this feeling of abundance, feeling of really being tactile. It's time to get erotic, for Venus is in Taurus, and this is such a placement, or when the transit happens, it's like we need a lover. We cannot not have a sensual, close, intimate encounter. So Venus in Taurus, if you have this natal placement, you're probably always you need sexual experiences. So if you don't get them, you'll get unhappy. So it's always good for you to find an arrangement, if not a real relationship, somewhere where you can express yourself sexually without judgment or fear, where you can lay back, take your time, because this is not about rushing anything. Venus is not a Libra, so she's not being over intellectualized about things. She's earthy, she's tactile. Venus in Taurus enjoys herself through the five senses. Okay, touch, smell, view, look at something. Just looking gives a lot of pleasure. Feeling people, feeling yourself, feeling things. Okay, Venus in Taurus, quintessential archetype, Lana Del Rey, the queen of Venus in Taurus sensuality. Okay, and the reminiscing nostalgia that is evident in her music is very, very Venus in Taurus. Very simple. It's not Venus in Libra, which is intellectual. This is earthy Venus. You touch, you feel, you believe, and you build together. Okay, something about Venus and Taurus is you have to be sexually committed to them, sexually loyal to them, because this placement sort of perceives relationships or people as possessions. They can't help it. Venus rules possessions. So they tend to view their relationships as possessions, and they put in tons of work. So even if it's failing, they sometimes refuse to budge because of all the hard work and expectations they put into the relationship. Okay, this is a very fatalistic saga of love between Taurus and Scorpio. So Venus and Taurus could be archetypally very attracted to Venus and Scorpio, Mars and Scorpio. We'll get to that later. Once you get past this possessive tendency and realize that you can't really own someone, these people can be really laid back, and the energy right now is really laid back. It's not as stressful as Venus and Aries, where she's in detriment. Here she's in domicile. She can be who she wants to be. She's Aphrodite. You know, Venus in Taurus and her abundance makes me think of the goddess Lakshmi or goddess Annapurna, where they are constantly, in fact, Amalthea's horn of Cornucopia reminds me of Annapurna and the vessel she gives to Lord Shiva, which is forever plenty, because Shiva comes to ask her for food dressed as a beggar. So, you know, there are a lot of parallels to these archetypes: Annapurna, Lakshmi, Venus and Taurus, okay, Ceres, Demeter, Fortuna, all these archetypes of Venus and Taurus, honestly. Now, if you're loyal and committed and in a relationship with them, stimulate their five senses, like play that music, wear that nostalgic sweater they first saw you in, or, you know, just be glam for them, or just, you know, be present in their sensual reality. They need to touch you, they need to feel you. Be physically affectionate with them, because this is a sign that needs tons of physical affection. Even during this time, love making becomes more sensual, more more touching, more feeling. It's not as spontaneous and wham bam kind of energy like Venus in Aries. It's very different. Okay, you have to be stylish to attract someone who's got Venus in Taurus placements. You can't be tacky. They've got to see this really glowing Venusian side to you. They are very attractive themselves. So they obviously are looking at someone who's attractive and who is settled in life. Lots of Venus and Taurus people can be sugar babies, because they just want someone who's settled, has the financial resources, and as I said, they're open to arrangements because they need certain things, and if you will fulfill it, they will go for an arrangement. A lot of arrangements happen during this time too. Okay, be pleasant with them. Don't start a fight. Then, you know, you're never going to get into the bedroom and nothing's going to happen. Or don't act rough with people around them. They don't like that. Venus is the connecting principle, the harmonizing principle. So, you know, it's not going to work over there. It's not going to work like that, right? Taurus, although is cold and dry, it's earth. And Venus essentially is moderately dry, moderately hot, but very moist. So there's a lot of fecund or fertile aspect to Venus and Taurus. So pregnancy, yes, can be a thing. Now, tons of people can get pregnant. Okay, now no fights, no rough words, no behaving rudely with the waiter. Just be pleasant and harmonious with them, and that will turn them on. Okay, you can take them out to restaurants, but if you know how to cook, because they are quite the gourmet cooks, so if you know how to cook, you can cook in and you guys can chill out and watch Netflix, but don't watch horrors, because that turns them off. They want something like a romantic comedy with big stars in them, lovely locations, okay, because Venus is artistic, don't forget that. So, you know, she's very artistic. They love gifts. So sometimes, depending upon the whole natal chart, they may love flashy gifts, or they can love just any old thing that beautifies their house. They're very connected to home, and in the home also they're always building something. Taurus can be quite the domestic goddess, like I already told you. uh they want a dependable lifestyle, so no, nothing's shocking. If you are suddenly going through a very shocking financial situation, you may lose your Venus in Taurus, because they just cannot see that, they cannot go through that. Venus is the sweet principle. They can have quite the sweet tooth, by the way, with Venus in Taurus. So always eating with them before watching Netflix, or before love making, or even foreplay with food can be a huge turn on for Venus and Taurus. If you just put some chocolate and make them lick it off you, very, very turning on for Venus and Taurus, men and women. Although Venus and Taurus men are not the chasers, so they don't go around chasing the women. But I've seen men with this placement always get hit on. Women seem to find them very attractive. And they are, but there's this beauty of Venus in fixed earth through a masculine archetype that's really like gets the ladies going. Believe me, Venus and Taurus guys, leave a comment down if this happens to you, that you always get pursued. Always, 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 right? They are very loyal, and even during this transit, people will mostly be loyal. But remember, if you do not appreciate them, they can have affairs. Because Venus here, as I said, sweet, all things harmonious. She needs to be seen, she needs to be appreciated for all the beauty she brings to your life. And if you cut that off, it's not going to work. Even for a male, he is loyal to you, but if you do not appreciate him, he's gone. He will have affairs. Maybe he won't go for a divorce unless he has other indications in his natal chart, but he's going to go and look around because he wants to feel appreciated, ladies. Okay, keep that in mind. Mars in Taurus, huge turn on for Venus in Taurus. Mars in Virgo, Cap as well, a huge turn on. And the fatalistic love story of Venus in Taurus and maybe Scorpio ascendant, or Mars in Scorpio, Venus in Scorpio. A very fatalistic saga. This is opposition. These planets are these signs are 180 degrees apart, and they have nothing in common. So they are at loggerheads. They, Taurus and Scorpio, water, earth, the only thing in common is fixed. They are fixed, but there's nothing else that is a commonality between them. Okay, so this is a huge attraction to Scorpio. Do you feel that if you have this placement? Even now, Venus in Taurus, can be attracted to scorpionic things. You have to be physically affectionate, and I stress on this. If you want love making to happen, you have to start being physically affectionate on the couch, in the kitchen, while cooking. Okay, do not play mind games with Venus and Taurus, and do not play hard to get. If you do that, they lose interest. As long as you are there, you are present in the interaction, they will be 100% present in that interaction with you, in that space with you. Do not scream, shout, or speak in a rough way, or speak about your problems if you want to get laid that night, because it's just not going to happen. They get into this thought, and they can be quite anxious as well, Venus and Taurus. Throw in tons of cuddles the whole day. If you want a really long-lasting, beautiful relationship with them, throw in those cuddles, people. Now, another thing with Venus and Taurus is this is a comfort-loving sign. So during love making, don't make them uncomfortable. Like, don't expect them to just do it outdoors, like a Mars in Aries, a Venus in Aries, like Venus in Sag. Expect them to like their cushions, piles of pillows and stacks of cushions, comfortable bed, not on the hard ground. They won't like it. Okay, all the Taurus is connected to the earth and the physical body. But Venus wants comfort here. Let's get that clear. Make them comfortable. mentally, physically, psychologically, spiritually, and you got them. Comfort. They're traditionalists, these Taurus, Cancerians, Cappies, very hardcore traditionalists, okay? Do not buy them fast fashion because they will not appreciate it. If you are on a tight budget, buy them like plants, because Venus and Taurus probably has plants in every nook and cranny. So buy them like a succulent or like some kind of beautiful flower, rose. Yeah, rose is of course the sign of Venus. So that is beautiful. They love plants. They love plants. In fact, a lot of these people could be ecosexual, very, where you make love to the earth. Interesting. Be tactile, be erotic, hold them, just come and hug them. That is very erotic to them. If your wife's cooking and she's Venus and Taurus, just come and hug her and, just tell her how much you love her. She's gonna love it. Don't be spontaneous. I warn you, be planned, prepared, and don't bring in a new component or a new element into lovemaking and just spring it on them. They won't like it. Discuss with them before you spring a surprise in the bedroom with Venus and Taurus. Okay, touch base with them. Don't fling surprises at them. Okay, as I said, you need contact, you need sexual contact, this placement and even this transit. All of us need it. So be safe, okay? And interestingly, because Taurus rules the physical body, having Venus on your physical body and on your skin and everything makes you very sensitive to touch. And of course, neck is the erogenous zone, even dirty talking to them very beautifully. But if you don't have a good voice, they can get put off. They have a beautiful voice. So if you speak to them in a beautiful voice and the sultry, beautiful way, they will love it, okay? Sing to them, serenade them with your guitar. Oh, they could probably serenade you. Most of them are singers. Tons of them are singers, okay? Now, long sexual stamina. So don't expect Venus and Taurus lovemaking to wrap up. Hey, I gotta go. It's a quickie. Bam, bam. Thank you, ma'am. Not happening. You're not getting a call back. Okay? Forget it. And this sensitivity to skin, I got distracted, makes them very turned on by lingerie, by jewelry, even makeup or some kind of external accessories, bondage gear or latex, because this is just Venus breathing through the skin, through the physical body, and she's really into these sensations. So like lace, lingerie could turn you on, if you look at yourself or you feel the fabric, because you can feel the fabric. So these things tend to turn them on. A piece of jewelry even touching on their neck could turn them on. Okay, crazy, I know. And moans and whispering during lovemaking can be very erotic for them, but only if you have a beautiful voice. So what do you think? Do you like this video? This is the time of plenty and it's beautiful. So go out there and enjoy yourself. Like, subscribe, comment, and let me know what you think. Thank you.